everybody, it's Emerald. Oh my god, that feels amazing to say. Okay, so I had a thought. Now, hear me out. I am a slight bit of a mythology nerd. I love learning about mythology, I love talking about mythology. I am a mythology nerd. And so, I've also noticed that my mythology videos, where I've been like, hey, how would you all feel about this, don't really get much of a response from people. But my videos where I'm doing my makeup get a lot of views. So, welcome to my second ever makeup tutorial. I'll also be throwing in some mythology, just so that way people who want to learn about it, they can just listen to the video. And if you actually want to learn what I'm doing, you can watch. I'll be fine, you know? So, I have my highlight and my contour. I know I'm going to be putting on blush because I love my blush. I love it. And I have my palette. For those of you who want to know what palette it is, and no, I'm not sponsored. I wish I was, but I'm not that big. But I have highlight contour palette, bunch of highlight. So, I'm gonna try to find the right brush. Not that one. That one's not the right brush. This is the right kind of brush. And just so that way I know where I'm going to start off putting everything. Told you, mirrors everywhere. I didn't realize that I didn't clean off my mirror yesterday. Oh well. But, so for now I'm going to talk about one of my favorite things. It's not really a mythology thing, it's more just like some fun facts about, different things that relate to Norse mythology. And it's the fact that, believe it or not, there's the Norwegian forest cat. And I really want one. Like, not even gonna try to hide the fact that I want one really, really badly. But they actually have a place in Norse mythology. Crazy, right? So, basically, the real story when it comes to Norwegian forest cats is that they are seriously epic, because those cats will have their own territory in the forests of Norway. And when a mother bear and its cubs step into the cat's territory, then all of a sudden the cat goes, no, we don't like you here, and attacks the bear. These cats that are about the size of my midsection attack mother bears. Also, this is actually taking like a lot of confidence for me to post, since I don't like how I look without glasses. Like, I know it's not that much of a difference for some people, but like, to me it's a pretty important difference when I have my glasses versus when I don't. Sorry about that, I needed coffee break number 1. But either way, so I did my highlight. Now it's time for contour. But, so yeah, and in Norse mythology, these cats were said to be so mighty that not even the god Thor could pick them up. And I just find that personally really interesting. Just because of the fact that Thor has done some pretty incredible things. Like, if you look at when Thor, Loki, and 2 human children were going to visit Utgard Loki. I am so sorry for butchering that name. But when they were going to visit him, he is a trickster type. kind of like Loki himself. And Utgard Loki was sitting there like, okay, oh, you say that you're a fast runner? How about you go up against the personification of thought? Oh, you are one of the best people to take to a feast because you'll eat everything? How about you go against a personified fire? And Thor, who was really, really cranky at the time, went, I ain't having this. Give me something to fight. So, first of all, the challenge was, hey, pick up my cat. And you know how cats kind of do that liquidy thing when they don't want to be picked up? Yeah, the cat did that. But Thor managed to lift up one paw. Bad idea. A very, very, very bad idea. And I know I kind of look like a clown right now, but there is a method to the madness. But, so he couldn't pick up the cat. Then he was told, okay, drink from this drinking horn. Most of the people in my court need one drink. Some people need 2 drinks, but no one is lame enough to need 3 drinks. Thor's like, okay, bet. Also a bad idea. Takes him 3 drinks. But he can't even drain the whole thing. Yeah, this is how my blush always looks. Not the worst looking it's ever been. But, so 3 drinks. 3 whole drinks. And it's noticeably lowered, but nowhere near empty. And this is when Thor shouts, just give me something to fight. Utgard Loki brings over this old lady, like this old biddy. And it's like, okay, you can fight her, since it seems like you can't do anything. And Thor manages to hold on himself for a little bit. Emphasis on a little bit. But the lady wins. This old lady wins. In a fisticuffs wrestling match against Thor. So, most likely out of pity. Or possibly fear, and you'll see why in a little bit. Utgard Loki allows... Oh, by the way, it's this one. Utgard Loki allows for them all, for the 2 human children, Loki and Thor, to stay the night. Okay, that's a good idea. Making sure that they don't want to kill you. So, as it turns out, next morning, Utgard Loki escorts them away from his place and goes, okay, y'all are never allowed back. Why? 'Cause, Thor kept on nearly destroying the world in the process. So as it turns out, the cat was Jormungandr, the Midgard serpent, who was supposed to kill Thor in Ragnarok. So there's that. The drinking horn was linked to Earth's ocean levels. Remember how I said it was noticeably lowered? Yeah. Not good, especially for the humans. So, sorry, I'm having trouble figuring out what I want to do here. I'll go with this. So, you remember that old lady? Yeah, she's the personification of old age. So, the fact that Thor was able to fight her off at all is terrifying. So, Utgard Loki says that they're never allowed back. Thor, upon hearing that all of his losses were just a bunch of tricks because of Utgard Loki, he threatens him. And Utgard Loki makes his whole place disappear and himself. Okay, so first I went with that bottom one, and then now I'm going this one in about the same area. I like the effect that it gives. But yeah, so that's the Thor story. Um, the thing is the fact that with all that, Thor could not pick up a Norwegian forest cat. And also those cats are said to pull the goddess Freya's chariot. Freya! Who is, in my personal opinion, the most epic of people in the land. But I'm very, very biased about the stories. So yeah, I'm trying to make sure that the people who actually want to see like the makeup can actually see like what I'm doing. So that way it's not like, wait, what did you do? So yeah. I don't know how to feel about when it comes to Thor anymore, but part of that is because he is the god of thunder, and thunder tends to set off my PTSD. So I already have other reasons why I'm not a big fan of him. He's an awesome god. Like, I will say that he is amazing. He has epic moments, and he has some epic stories. But I'm not a big fan of anything that involves thunder, which means I'm not a big fan of Zeus either. And I know I'm on some people's hate list for that, but you know, I'd rather avoid anything that sets off my PTSD. You know, I'd rather avoid stuff like that. Very few people have actually seen what happens when my PTSD gets fully set off. And I keep it that way for a very good reason. Alright, I'm going with this one, by the way. That's the one I've been using for a while now. Yeah, I do tend to do my under eye sometimes. This is an optional step. You do not have to do the under eye. So yeah, um, there are plenty of other stories, like for instance when Thor dressed up as a chick. Um, Loki is the reason why Odin has his, I think it's either six-legged or eight-legged horse. Yeah. Also, Odin is shown to be much more of like the trickster nerd type than anything else. Like, people tend to equate him to like Zeus and like the Christian god just because of the fact that he's technically the head god in charge. But he really is much more of like the underdog trickster knowledge seeker who regularly goes out in quest for knowledge. Which has led to some of his own hijinks, I'll tell you that. This eye is probably about the best that it's gonna get, I'm letting you know. Because I cannot replicate eyeliner to save my life. At least not on myself. So, I almost never do my brows just because of the fact that it never turns out right. Either they turn out too light or too dark, because I can never find the right shade for my brows. Or they take me forever. Side note, I have no idea how long this is right now. But, yeah. So, I really want to get a Norwegian forest cat for all those reasons. And I gained this obsession like about 2 years ago. And it just hasn't gone away. To be honest, it's only gotten stronger. Okay. I'm gonna try to do this on this side and hope that it works. So just give me a minute, okay? Alrighty. And then final touch. Of course, you can do pretty much anything for lips, but this is what I tend to go with. Or I tend to go with a bright red. But if you want to actually, like, do something a bit more than this, I'll show you what I do after I do it. Alright, so there are two different things that I did. One, I put gold powder on my lips. Only the center part. And then I also put some gold eyeliner. You can actually see it better on this side. Yeah, and I did that to both eyes. So yeah, that's just if you want to spice it up, but otherwise forget the gold. Then you have this. So that is actually all that I have for today. I hope that this video was at least kind of interesting to listen to or to watch. And, goodbye my little gems. I love you all.